Alright students, in continuation with my last video in which I explained why it always remains a task to achieve a higher score in IELTS writing, I'll be further elaborating कि क्यों ये चीज़ exist करती है and it is in the case of many students. Well, IELTS writing की जो scoring है, it is a little complicated yet calculated at various steps. Now for that there is a rubric. Rubric is एक scoring parameter दिता जाता है 4 aspects: task response, coherence and cohesion, grammar and accuracy, and your lexical resources. Now, your each task 1 and task 2 gets 4 scores. The cumulative of which you get for your task 1, the cumulative for which you get for your task 2, the average of both is taken out, and the average is finally downgraded and you get your final score. So, let me put it into simple words. There are 4 aspects as I told you. Now let's see ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ task 1 evaluate ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, which in case of IELTS general is letter writing. Task response is all about ਤੁਸੀਂ question ਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੇ accurately and ਕਿੰਨੇ appropriately respond ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ. As you may know, IELTS task 1 which, writing task 1 which, you have a question prompt in letter writing. There are 3 bullet points explaining the situation and it also guides you ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ letter ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ include ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ. Well, let's say you just covered first and the second bullet point and you completely missed out on the third one. The thota task response the score बहुत नीचे dip कर जाएगा. It'll be somewhere around 5 or 6. Then comes the second parameter, which is coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion is how well your writing or your letter is linked. Are you making use of the correct linking words? Are you using the conjunctions in the correct spot? And is there a beautiful flow in your writing? Is it there's a little bit of sequence that yes, you started off with something making sense and you ended off your letter with something making sense again? If that's so, trust me, it's assured that the coherence and cohesion test score you will have somewhere around 7, 8 or even 9. Then the third parameter is about grammar and accuracy. Again, self-explanatory. This is where the examiner will see are you making the correct use of grammar? Now, grammar would include everything and anything that you may think of, right? Everything but the kitchen sink. So, grammar would include, are you making right use of articles? Are you using the correct tenses? Are you using some complex structure of sentences, or are you just making use of simple sentences or compound sentences? And lastly, we have the lexical resources. Now, here's the catch. Why? Many people and students and even some teaching institutes feel कि ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ 4-5 heavy words ਸਿੱਖ ਲਈਏ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ sprinkle ਕਰ ਲਈਏ, the examiner will be impressed and he's very bound to give you a higher score. Trust me, that's not how it is, right? I wish if it was that simple, many students would not have been stuck at that monstrous score, right? But lexical resources ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੋ vocabulary ਹੋ ਉਹਨੂੰ use ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ but appropriately. It's not about just making use of big words and ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗਲਤ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ use ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, right? So it's not simply about just using big words. It's also about using it correctly and appropriately into your sentences, using some collocations, using some phrases, using some complex structures, right? That's what counts as your lexical resources. Now, finally, after you've been graded a score each for these 4 parameters, the average of it is taken out and that's your final score for your task 1. And likewise, the same criteria is for task 2. And finally, when the score is averaged out and it's downgraded, that's what you see on your final TRF.